After this, Jesus went across the Galilee Sea, that is the Tiberias Sea. A large crowd followed him because they had seen the miraculous signs he had done among the sick. Jesus went up a mountain and sat there with his disciples. It was nearly time for Passover, the Jewish festival. Jesus looked up and saw the large crowd coming towards him. He asked Philip, "Where will we buy food to feed these people?" Jesus said this to test him, for he already knew what he was going to do. Philip replied, "More than a half-year's salary worth of food wouldn't be enough for each person to have even a little bit." One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said, "A youth here has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish, but what good is that for a crowd like this?" Jesus said, "Have the people sit down." There was plenty of grass there. They sat down, about 5,000 of them. Then Jesus took the bread. When he had given thanks, he distributed it to those who were sitting there. He did the same with the fish, each getting as much as they wanted. When they had plenty to eat, he said to his disciples, "Gather up the leftover pieces so that nothing will be wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with the pieces of the 5 barley loaves that had been left over by those who had eaten. When the people saw that he had done a miraculous sign, they said, "This is truly the prophet who is coming into the world."
That's the story we've heard from childhood. The loving Christ taking a desperate situation and providing the wants and needs of the people. A miracle of love to those in need. But the story continues. Jesus escapes from the eager crowd and wants to proclaim him king. It's not time. The next day they find him. "Where did you go?" they ask. Jesus confronts them. "You follow after me not because you've loved me, but because I fed you and satisfied your wants and needs." He goes on to try and explain to them that he is the bread of heaven, the bread of life, the eternal bread that satisfies their hunger forever. They didn't get it. They didn't understand. They said, "This teaching is difficult. Who can accept it?" Even after seeing the heathens, after seeing 5 loaves and 2 fish feed thousands, they made their decision. Because of this, many of his disciples turned back and no longer went with him.
Will ye also go away?
Lord, to whom shall we go? Thou hast the words of eternal life, and we believe and are sure that thou art that Christ, the Son of the living God.
We have come to believe and know that you are the Holy One of God. He gave them an out. He knew they would suffer pain and hardship for his cause. He knew also all who would die for his church. He loved them so much that he gave them a chance to walk away. But Peter, the stronger one, the fighter, the one who always speaks first, the one who takes charge, Peter the rock asked a very humble question. To whom can we go? To whom do we turn? Whom do we place our trust? Who else is there? So today the question is, where do you turn? To your knowledge, to your doctor, to your bank account, to your friends, your family, your pastor? We, like Peter, James, and John, and others, we have to decide, do we love him enough to take up our cross and follow him? The decision is ours to make. We have to decide.